A great example of these two words, both misinformation and disinformation, is when you receive those really, really long WhatsApp messages. I know you've received them. And at the end, they have a call to action. Share to 100 people, or this and that will happen. I believe and strongly insist that this coalition is necessary and important to strengthen the capacities of everyone to ensure that we curb online hate and misinformation, we curb disinformation. Welcome to Tek4Peace with Christine Magoma. I am Christine Magoma and I am your guide through conversations around using technology platforms to enhance peace. On today's episode, which is the second episode, we're going to be defining and getting to understand key terms that my guests and I will be using when and while talking about how to use technology platforms to enhance peace. And I'm quite certain that you're asking yourself, how does this connect to Tek4Peace? Let me tell you about that, my dearest viewer. This connects to peace because once you're able to identify and to understand these key terms that are used, then you can immediately pick out and tell whether this information that you're consuming or sharing is true, is factual, or is misinforming you or misleading you. Information is shared both on mainstream media and on new media. Mainstream media is when you switch on your TV and you're watching news from media stations. For example, royal media platforms, we have Citizen. New media is where we're at here. If you're watching me on YouTube, this is new media. Our first word is misinformation. Misinformation is any information that is shared or consumed then shared by anyone on various platforms, whether mainstream or new media, that is misleading people. It is not true. And the person or people sharing this information are not aware that this information is not true. And the second word is disinformation. Disinformation is information, false information that is shared by a person or people, and they clearly know that this particular information is false, but they are still sharing it with the intent of misleading their audiences. A great example of these two words, both misinformation and disinformation, is when you receive those really, really long WhatsApp messages. I know you've received them. Most of us have received these really long WhatsApp messages, and at the end they have a call to action. It becomes misinformation when this information, you as a consumer, pick it up, you're not very sure, is this true, is this not true, but because it had a call to action at the end, like share to 100 people, or tomorrow you will not be able to see properly, then you immediately shared it. Yeah, you're like, oh, tomorrow I will not be able to see, and you're like, okay, share. But you did not confirm whether it's true or not true, and you're not aware really whether it's true or not true. So you become a person who's misinforming your audience once you share it to those 100 other groups. Yeah, this information becomes disinformation when the information that you pick up itself is not true, when it's false information, but you still pick it up and you know it is not true, but still go ahead to share that information. So yeah, don't do that as well. Don't do that either. It's not good, especially during electioneering periods in different countries. This kind of information leads to conflict and violence. You get a hashtag trending somewhere, and people tend to have conversations, one-on-one conversations about, did you hear on this platform this was said? And they tell each other, yeah, it was true. No, you're saying the wrong things about my supporter. Look at this platform. Look at this person. This person said and this and that. Do you now get me how this information Disinformation, malinformation, and misinformation can come from social media platforms, can come from technology platforms, can come from digital platforms. Then go out to the real world and people will fight with each other. There will be conflict. The third term for today is malinformation. Now, malinformation is true information that is shared with the intent of harming or bringing a kind of negative impact to an organization, to a company, or to a person. Malinformation is true. It could be secrets, yeah? From a person, from a company, from a big organization. But since you are a competitor, for instance, and you want to bring these people down, you pick up their information, you pick up their stats, and share with the public. There are very many cases out there. So I'd like to know, have you been a perpetrator? Or do you know a perpetrator of misinformation, disinformation, or malinformation? Or are you a victim? Comment down below. Let me know. Christine, I have been. Magoma, I have been. This and this and that. Or I know a person and this was the impact. This is what happened. We have gotten to define and understand key terms that we shall be using in our conversations around using technology platforms to enhance peace, so that you protect yourself on digital platforms, on technology platforms, as well as protect your loved ones to enhance and promote peace in Africa. Goodbye. Please like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you next Tuesday.